We have a very beautiful, wonderful session that is going to be like on Vedic chanting, the role of Vedic chanting in curing chronic disorders. And we have an eminent guest coming in all the way from Chennai, Srimati Meenaka Desikachar. Beg your pardon. Just a few words of introduction to you all about Meenaka Amma. Srimati Meenaka Desikachar is the senior most teacher in the tradition of T. Krishnamacharya and T.K.V. Desikachar, and was the wife of world famous yoga teacher Sri Desikachar. She has studied and taught yoga, yoga therapy and Vedic chanting under the guidance of her husband for over 4 decades. She was the founding member of Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram in Chennai and has been instrumental in building Veda Vani, the department to Vedic chanting at the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, in which she has served and taught as the technical director for over a decade. Srimati Meenakaji is now the senior teacher, educator and therapist at the Krishnamacharya Healing and Yoga Foundation in Chennai. She is one of the very few people who has graduated under the legendary yoga master Sri Krishnamacharya, and one of the very few women that he has accepted to teach chanting actually. And Srimati Meenaka is especially renowned as an authority in the field of Vedic chanting. The number of chants that she knows by heart and the dedication to her practice has made her a true mantrajna, a knower of the Vedic mantras. This is a truly remarkable achievement and made her a strong inspiration for many women worldwide, as for centuries now many of the Vedic mantras could only be learnt by male seekers. So she is a great exception and an inspiration for all of us. And she has a vast knowledge of the chants and is aware of their benefits from her own experience. And she has brought the knowledge of the Vedas to men and women of all age groups and nationalities worldwide. She follows the footsteps of T. Krishnamacharya, who had the opinion that every seeker should be able to learn the incredible vast and rich knowledge of the Vedic scriptures and thus be able to benefit from it. So may I now request Srimati Meenaka Amma to please come over the dais and take up her.
कृष्णवागीशयतीश्वराभ्याम् सम्प्राप्तचक्राङ्कण भाष्यसारम् श्रीनूत्नरङ्गेन्द्र यतौ समर्पितस्वं श्रीकृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमीडे विरोधे कार्तिके मासे शततारा कृतोदयं योगाचार्यं कृष्णमार्यं गुरुवर्यमहं भजे श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम. Namaste to all of you. See, this is the prayer to Sri Krishnamacharya. Why I recited this is because we have to remember our teacher, and also he is the one who has opened the door of chanting to everybody, because he said, whoever chants, he is a Brahmana. So he said, anybody can learn, because nowadays, the Vedas are going down. Nobody is, willing to chant. Everybody is going to, everybody is studying computer and they're going abroad So the Vedas are dying. So anybody who wants to learn chanting, you have to teach, he said. That's how he opened the door to everyone. So that is the reason I prayed, because I also am a woman, because the Vedas are barred to women. So, and I learned from him for 3 days only, because, at that time I didn't know Sanskrit, and he was not able to tolerate my Sanskrit pronunciation, because chanting, for chanting in Sanskrit, the pronunciation is very, very important. But I was not able to chant, properly, because I come from Tamil, I learnt in Tamil, everything, so my pronunciation was so bad. And he said, even if I cut, your throat and tongue, you won't be able to recite, he said. You see, that's what the impression he had. Then I said, no, I must learn this and show him that I can chant. So I learned from my husband, and then I showed him, one day I chanted in front of him, and then he said, yeah, better now. So that's how I became a chant teacher. See, for chanting, you have to remember all the rules. Why I'm telling you is this, because unless you focus on all the rules, you can't chant properly. So in that way, the chanting becomes a meditation. All the rules, like, varna means a pronunciation, swara, notations. Varna, swaraha, matra, balam. Matra means timing. You can't say a for a for a. So you have to have 1 second or 2 seconds or 3 seconds like that. Matra. Then balam. Balam means, you have to put effort. And then matra balam. Sama santanaha. Sama santanaha. Sama means musical quality. And then you can't chant like, Hiranyavarnam Harini, not like that. Hiranyavarnam Harini. There should be a musical quality. And then Santanaha, punctuation, where you have to take breath, where you cannot take breath, where you have to separate the word, because you can't separate wherever you want. The word has to be complete, like a purusha. You can't say purushaha, then there is no meaning. So you have to follow all these 6 rules when you chant. So what happens when your mind is focused on these rules? The mind is in one direction, because you can't control your mind. It is like a monkey. If you have to tame your mind, you have to focus that. You have to pull your mind. So to pull your mind, you have to do something. That's how the breathing becomes important, because breathing is very, very important. If you focus on the breathing, then you can affect the mind. For the breathing, if you see in Yoga Sutra, prachardana vidaranabhyam va pranasya, you have to make exhale long. Because unless you empty your mind, you can't pour anything else. So emptying is the exhalation. So you have to exhale long. But initially if you see all the people, everybody, normal people, exhale you will be very short. You won't know that you are exhaling. It will be just 2-3 seconds only. So you have to make a long exhale. If you want to make a long exhale, then you have to, when you focus on that only, then you can make it long. But many people cannot focus on the breathing. If you ask them to exhale, they will say, like that. You see? So you have to make it long. For that, we use mantra. When you use mantra, when you use mantras, you have to recite loudly, not mentally. When you loudly recite, then you can follow the sound. Then you can make it long. So when you make it long exhale, what happens? Your body and mind becomes relaxed. You are focusing and you are reciting mantras. You know, when you are reciting mantras, you are focusing. What happens? Your mind is totally in that. You are absorbed in the mantras. So this is like a meditation. And the exhale becomes long. See, for long exhale is very, very important. That's why we insist on in any asana practice or on pranayama, long exhale. For that, you have to use a sound. Because normal people cannot make exhale long. You see? So, use mantra like simple. If they believe in a Om, you can ask them to recite Om. Like Om. Like that. So the exhale becomes long because they hear the sound. So you are affecting the mind and the body through these mantras. Instead of exhaling, you are using mantra. Okay? So if you see this one, this meditation, this becomes like a meditation, the chanting helps the cancer patient also because you are diverting their mind in mantras. We teach, the mantra called Triambakai Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityur Mukshiyamamritat. Because they will be thinking of their disease only. So you have to divert their mind. So for that, you have to choose mantras which are good for them, because this mantra is a Mrityunjaya mantra, mastery over death. So if you ask them to recite their mantra, their fear will be reduced. Okay? So then, see, if you see the asthmatic people, what is the problem? Exhale is the problem. Unless they exhale, they can't inhale. You see? So you have to exhale. You have to make exhale long. That's why, the doctor says, go and learn flute. Why? You have to exhale. There also you have to do. You see, long exhale. So we are using mantra here for long exhale. So in that way, it opens that respiratory organ. Lungs gets expanded. Because when you exhale long, eventually it affects your inhale also. That is, exhale long means gradually the inhale also will become long. So first they are emptying so that they can take more oxygen. That's how the long mantras reciting, because the mantra only, you can make it long. So through mantras, you can make their exhale long, and then eventually they can inhale also better. That's how it works in asthmatic people. Then, see, when you recite mantras, as I told you, the pronunciation is very important. Certain, letters you have to aspirate, like gha, ha. What happens when you recite ha? Can you recite ha? Where it works? Lower abdomen. You see, when you recite ha, you have to put more effort. That's what I said, balam, strength. You have to put extra effort to recite that letter. Ha. So what happens when you contract your stomach? Going on contracting your stomach using these different mantras, with these aspect mantras, what happens? Not Kapalabhati. I will come to Kapalabhati then afterwards, because Kapalabhati is not at all. Because why I am saying is Kapalabhati is, you can't, recite mantras there. The exhale, inhale is 1 second only. See, Sri Krishnamacharya has said, anything that disturbs your mind or agitates your mind, you should not do. That is, when you do Kapalabhati, fast breathing agitates your mind. You see? So Kapalabhati is not, will not come under this. You know? So, because you have to, how can you say 1 second mantra? Can you say, ha, also will take 2 seconds. You see, Kapalabhati is only 1 second inhale, 1 second exhale. Have you understood, doctor? So, then do that. So, what happens when you aspirate, the stomach goes in. So, where it works? It works on the stomach. So, what happens when you contract, you are shrinking your stomach muscle, no, you are toning your stomach muscle. If you have a big paunch, you contract, what happens? The paunch gets reduced. And at the same time, the organs which are here in the lower abdomen, it gets worked up. That's how, the period problems, irregular period problems get solved. And also, when you recite with all these rules and regulations of the chanting, what happens? The digestion gets improved because it produces more heat. The Jatragni, as you all know, I think, the Jatragni gets improved, it gets flared up, and then all the unwanted things gets burnt out. That's how, if you see many priests, they keep milk in the flask, you see. So whenever they feel thirsty, feel hungry, they drink milk because the fire gets increased. So that's how the digestion also gets improved. And then, if you see, the people who come with a stuttering problem, there is tikuvai, they say, they say, you see. For them, you can teach chanting. Like, sometimes, they can't say ra. Many people, Westerners, they won't know how to say rrr. When they say pradurbhava, rrr, they won't say. They can't pronounce that. Because the ir produces, heat. But they can't do that. So what happens when the tikva, that is when the people who are stuttering, we have to use the r sound for them. Not only for the foreigners, but also this. Don't mistake me. But for this speech problem, people, children or any adult, you have to teach them like words like Om, Hram, Hrim, Hrum, Hraim, Hraum, Hraha. See, the ir it comes. That's how, what happens, the tongue becomes very sharp. When you recite that r, the tongue becomes very sharp. Then they will be able to recite properly. And they are focusing on that. So what happens, because usually this tikuvai happens when they are tensed. When you recite mantras and focusing on that, they are very much relaxed. So their problem gets reduced. But you have to choose right mantras, where, you have to see what mantra is good for them. If they are not able to say bha or something like that, we have to say bha, You can use the monosyllable or words or long sentence also. First you have to start with the small word, one word, monosyllable, and then you can use a word, small word, like a bhavaha, like that. Then you can use a pradurbhava, like that long one. Depending on their, how they improve. Depending on their improvement, you have to see. Okay? Then, and also you see, we have chants, in ancient time, they used to chant all the Vedas, without book. How they taught? Because, they were taught, they used to do, the whole mantra in words. Like you see, for example, Gayatri mantra. तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. This one you can teach children like this. Tatsavituhu. Or even if you want to make it simple, tat savituhu, like that. Separate the padam. The padam means word. Then you add 1 and 2. 2 and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, like that. That is, it is called krama. That is 1, 2, 2, 3. This is called krama. Then jata is a 1, 2, 2, 1. Like you see. Tat savitus savitus tat 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 savituhu. That is krama, jata. Then ghana is 1, 2, 2, 1. Then 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. Like tat savitus savitus tat tat savitur varenyam varenyagum savitus tat tat savitur varenyam. It's a long sentence. So they have to remember all these mantras. The people, the children who comes with a loss of memory or lack of memory, they don't have any kind of concentration, you can teach this mantra like this. So in that case also the mantras works. See, in ancient time all the Vedas, Samhita Pada, they learned like this only. Krama, Jata, Ghana. In this way only they have learned. They didn't have book at all. They have to remember all the words. What comes 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Okay? Then by reciting mantras, you see, your tongue becomes very sharp. As I told you, you have to twist the tongue. Like, see, for example, pranam. Sanskrit words, it is unlike in Tamil or English, there are 4 pas, 4 cha, 4 ka, like that. The pronunciation, like I say, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. You see? So each one you have to, 1 and 3 you have to recite softly. 2 and 4 you have to recite, with effort. Pardon? Alpa pranam, mahapranam. Yeah. Okay. So what happens when you recite that? And na and na. Some words are dental, some words are labial, some, like that. Different things you have to use it in a different places. Nya, nasal. You see? So, na. When you twist the tongue, na, what happens? The tongue becomes very sharp. And then, when you do a pronunciation also, you see, that's a pa, ma, gha, like that. Okay? And then, ear. This is very, very important. Ear, for listening. Because as I told you, in ancient time, they didn't have book, they had to only listen. So the Shravanam is very, very important. Shravanam is hearing. So unless you listen properly, you can't reproduce. So what happens? Unless you focus, you can't recite. So what happens? Your ear becomes very sharp. See, nowadays I am not able to hear anybody chants in the outside or in the marriage or in the temple, because I'm used to chant like this, how my husband and my father-in-law taught, because the pronunciation is so horrible. When they say na, aha, you have to open your mouth. But they say aha, naha, you have to say naha, like that. Namaha. But they say namaha. See the difference. So I am not able to hear at all. So what I will do, I will just move from that place. Because we can't correct them and I can't tolerate. So we move from that place. So that's how, the ear also becomes very, very, very sharp. And nowadays we are looking at the book. You see, unless focus on see the words, whether it is a Mahapranam or Alpa Pranam or the pronunciation, you can't recite properly. In the beginning I also say, for a bhayam, I used to say bhayam. When you say bhayam, it is a fear. And if you say payam, then it becomes a milk. You see? So, I was not able to read, because I I read in family everything. So, after learning Sanskrit, then I was able to look whether it is a bha or pa. So, what happens when you look, what happens? Your eyes becomes very sharp. So, this way, you can see all your sensory organs will becomes very sharp. Eyes, ears, tongue, except nose. Nose also you have to use because nya is coming from the nasal sound, you see. So, but mostly the tongue becomes very, very sharp. So, and then what happens, when you recite chanting, the circulation improves. Recently I saw, my son-in-law is also a doctor, he is in US, he showed me a graph, when you recite chanting, the circulation to the brain goes much, too much. Like compared to ordinary thing. When you are quiet, doesn't go much, but when you chant, the circulation improves. He showed me the graph. When you chant, how it improves. You see? So the circulation also improves in your brain. That way your mind becomes very clear. You will be able to think properly. And then if you see in the paralytic person, there is somebody is paralyzed, we use visualization using mantras. For example, if somebody is paralyzed in this hand, the left hand, so what we use, we use mantra because that side the prana is not moving properly. So we take a small mantra like a pranaya swaha. We ask that person to recite and do like this, you see. Om pranaya swaha. Visualize that as if the prana is moving in that hand. If they do that, the prana moves. We have experimented this, and I know many people have benefited from this mantra, get back their movement, So the mantra is very powerful, you see. And then in pregnancy also, suppose somebody comes, want to conceive, then we choose certain mantras, give them. For example, the area which we have to work is the lower abdomen. So that place is the apana area. You all know that. Apana is working. In apana also there are two types of apana. One is prajapatya and the other one is sutika. The prajapatya is the one which expels and the sutika is the one which, praja is the one who holds and the sutika is the one which expels the baby out. So you have to work on this area. So what we do is, we use the mantra Apanaya Swaha, like that. Let this apana, work properly. You have to visualize the apana has to work here, like that. Or sometimes we give mantra pushpam also. Mantra pushpam mantras. Yopam pushpam veda pushpavan prajavan pashuman bhavati. This one is a mantra yadrishi bhavana tadrishi siddhir bhavati. As you visualize, you will get the benefit. That is, you are visualizing water as a giver of flower or house or anything, child or anything. So visualize like that and recite this mantra. So your mantra pushpam, we teach them.
Please repeat it.
Yadrishi bhavana, tadrishi siddhir bhavati. So some people, many people miscarriages or many times abortions or something like that, they want to conceive, then we use the mantra called Durga Suktam. We start with a simple thing like a Dum Durgaya Namaha. Durga is the one, which is growing, which gives us strength, you see, to conceive. Anything that grows is you have to teach. So, Durga is a one which makes the people, the ladies to conceive. So, you have to use that mantra. Afterwards, later on, if they are interested, then you can teach Durga Suktam. Jata vedase sunavam somamarati yato nidahati vedaha. Like that. The long passage. Initially, you have to use a simple one, then go to the long one, long sentence. Like this, we teach, we choose mantras and give them, and they get benefited from that. Do you have any questions? You can ask now. Or you want to chant? Shall I teach you chanting? You want me to chant or you want to chant?
No, I can't chant. You teach me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I am going to teach you.
First, you have to chant Om. I have a question.
Okay.
One there is Udata Anudata. They put I don't know much about that.
Swara.
One thing.
Udata, Anudata.
The pitch, when you chant for the Om, low pitch, high pitch. What is the effect should be different to my mind. And then how to chant Om, the duration of each part. Long Om or short Om. They put the
See, for therapy, yeah.
One other point I will see, when you're chanting, there should be a reflex of different parts. So the tongue becomes very sharp, mind becomes sharp, hearing becomes sharp, and also the reflex points, reflexology, they should also have reflex various parts. But anyway, I want to know mainly how to chant Om.
See, for therapeutic means it is different. Generally, if you want to recite Om means, see, Om, 3 seconds O, and Im should be half a second, and then half a second silence. It represents our 4 states of our life. Awake state, Jagrata, like that. Dream, sleep. Sleep is there, after silence is the sleep state. 4 seconds, it should be totally 4 seconds. Yeah, generally. But when it becomes our therapeutic purpose, then you can recite any, long, make it long. Like, my father-in-law chanted Om for 1 minute. Imagine how long it,
I feel 4 seconds is very quite short to my mind. I haven't thought of journey. I feel 4 seconds normally, this will be longer.
You can recite, doesn't matter. But usually in Vedas, they say 4 seconds. If you look into the book, Harihi Om means 4 seconds. Yeah.
If you are chanting Om as a standby, Om alone, I feel longer should be better.
You can recite, no problem. You should drag that in.
Mind whole vibration.
You shouldn't say, no. Im should be half a second only. So you make that O long. See, you can say, you can do that. But you can't say, I don't know, because they say Im is the silence, Im is the silence. Yeah, silence. This is the, stage after life. You see, so Turiya state they stay. So you shouldn't make that in long.
Therapeutic may vary.
Yeah, therapeutic, when it comes to therapeutic, you can do what you want. It depends on the, student. How long they can recite, they can recite. Okay, so now let us experience the chanting. Short ones, okay. First you have to recite Om, then stop it, then I will recite the other word, and you can recite, because otherwise you can't recite, without book you can't do. Okay, so now I am going to test your listening. Okay. Om. Ayurdhehi. Om. Pranandhehi. Om. Apanandhehi. Om. Yanandhehi. Om. Chakshurdhehi. Om. Shrotandhehi. Om. Manodhehi. Om. Vachandhehi. Om. Atmanandhehi. Om. Pratishthandhehi. Om. Mandhehi. Om. How is it? You didn't feel anything? When you recite Dehi? See, when you recite correctly, you know what happens? The circulation in the face also gets improved. Your face will glow. If you have seen my father-in-law's face, it was glowing. Because of the glow, you will think, you will, scared to go near him. Because he was chanting, always, and his face was glowing like a fire, So this chant is a health chant, health mantra. Like this we have so many, see for example, Om Prana Pana Vyano Dana Samana Me Shuddhyantan Jyotiraham Viraja Vipapma Bhuya Sadguswaha. This is also a health mantra because our body is made up of 5 pranas, So we are asking the high force to get all these pranas purified, and be healthy. Like this, in this book you will have so many mantras for pregnancy, for, for memory, for everything. So, thank you very much for giving me opportunity to share my experience.
May I now request Dr. Shobana ma'am to please come and honor the speaker.
Personally add a few words here of gratitude to Srimati Menaka ji because my interaction with her husband and her son, especially with Kaustubh, is a very dear friend. We consider each other brothers in spirit, in yoga. And so for me, a couple of months back, Kaustubh was still traveling in, I think, some 14 countries he was traveling recently. And I was telling somebody today, I have traveled with 3 or 4 countries and he does 14. So it's nice that, he has that energy because the difficulty of traveling is there. But he was traveling. And then I asked him, I said, every year we have this workshop. And I said, this year I want specially your mother to come. And he said, okay, fine, I will talk to her. So I was so happy because we had Kaustubh here a few years ago giving a very beautiful talk on yoga chikitsa, yoga therapy. And this time to have Amma with us is even more special. And what makes it even special for me is that Amma ji is also here today. So, to have the woman power of yoga. You have in this room right now 2 women who in the yoga world are considered leaders in this field. Amma Balam. Tamil Nadu's always had Amma Balam, sir. Along with our Amma canteen and all, we had Amma Balam. Only Amma Yoga Center was not started. Amma Cement, yes. So I wanted to express especially my gratitude to Srimati Menaka ji because to have her down here many years ago when Madan Mohan sir organized a workshop in Jipma. I remember when sir had come, Amma had also come for the inauguration, and I remember sir's chanting there in that hall in Jipma. And then another time when Dr. Sharavanan Padmanabhan had organized a workshop, and that time again Amma had come and also sir had come. And again, to have her in Pondicherry, and as I said, today you have a dynamic Yoga Shaktis here, and very beautiful aspect of yoga therapy, because many people think yoga therapy is just asana. And modified asana becomes yoga therapy. My father used to often say that modern yoga therapy is Western physiotherapy in a dhoti. It was actually a very beautiful comment, and this is something that both Kaustubh and I are thinking about a lot, because modern yoga therapy has become that. It's physiotherapy in another name. And unless we retain the essence of yoga, as Amma said today, we pray that yoga should remain yoga, because it's getting mutated and corrupted in so many forms. I think what we wanted our participants to have today is this perspective that yoga has so many tools. The upaya of yoga is so vast that we should not limit to only asana, and the power of the chant is something that you all experienced. The Ayur mantra that you experienced is something that we have recently been chanting at Saita for the last 1 year, and in the yoga festival our Saita team chanted it. Now I think they will get even more energy on how to chant it.
Now we know that we have to prolong that O and then
Yes.
shorten the
So we were doing a modified version, now we'll do a better version. So once again, personally, on behalf of my own self, I would like to express my gratitude to Menaka ji. Let us give her a very big round of applause. We have had a wonderful exposure to this aspect. The much unknown aspect of yoga chikitsa is the power of the chant. So you have had that exposure. We'll be now taking over on to the next part, which is our panel discussion. I request Meena to announce the program. Silent spectator.